you want to be more consistent. This is a game that drives us crazy because we are so inconsistent. We don't hit the golf ball solidly. We have a magnitude of misses. We don't know which guy is going to show up to the golf course on any given day. And that's what makes us really kind of question the fact that why are we playing this sport to begin with? Today we're going to help you understand the lead shoulder and lead arm function and how important it is for you to get it in the right spot at the top of the backswing, get it in the right spot after transition, but to also allow your lead arm to work independently from the shoulders. Now, to do today's drill, we have a simple little setup here for you. We're gonna have a golf ball down on the ground that our eyes are gonna be focused on. And we have a line coming off of our toe line here, straight down the target line. And then I also have an alignment stick coming directly off my ankle joint straight back. We're gonna call this our depth line. Now, in the golf swing, we have a vertical plane and we have a horizontal plane. And the way that we kind of work through your swing change as golf instructors is we try to balance out your equation. We want you to have a good balance of steepening and shallowing moves. So the depth line is going to basically be your representation of where we want the intersection of your hands. So where your hands meet on the golf club to be on top of at the top of the backswing. Now to do that, what we want to eliminate is we want to eliminate any sort of lead side, lead arm push. I see a lot of golfers that struggle getting the golf club moving with weight shift and body turn because they want to take the arms and start to push the club back. And once you start that, you ain't going to stop. And what's really happening here is that that momentum and inertia that you're putting in the golf club that's working around into the depth dimension of the swing is going to start to pull your body into a weight shift and also your body to turn. And so your brain is going, I am shifting, I am turning. But the reality is that all you're doing is you're loading up this shoulder girdle real tight. And when that shoulder girdle gets loaded up real tight, guess what? It's like any other muscle group that we have in the body. It wants to fire and start moving back in the other direction. This is what causes a lot of the sequence-related issues that we run into when swinging the golf club. Now, the arms do have function. They do. The shoulders have very small function. But a lot of that arm function that you see in the golf swing is being driven around the muscles that we have up in the shoulders. So when you see my arms that go in the backswing, what's really happening is my arms are going to be elevating. Okay, so this is elevation, and they're going to be flexing. That's all my arms are doing inside of a good shift and body turn to be able to set the club in plane and to be able to get your arms in a position where they are on top of the depth line. So in this first step, what we're going to do is we're going to isolate the golf club and get it out of here completely. And we're going to train our lead arm to get moved and to elevate at the tail end of your backswing just by focusing on a weight shift and body turn. So I want you to take your setup with your eyes down on the golf ball. Take your trail arm and put it across your chest. And all I want you to do is make a small, tiny shift to your trail side just by pushing down in your trail ankle. And I want you to turn your body back by taking that right shoulder and pulling it back behind your head as far as you possibly can. And as you get your body turn full, I want you to lift your lead arm straight up. Now from your perspective, your lead arm should be heading back in the direction of this depth line, and your hand should be right on top of it when you look over at it. You want to see a good full body turn, and you want to see that your arm, your hand, is not moved back in behind that line. So I just want you to shift and turn your body. Just like I'm doing right now. Now, when you do it left arm only, you're going to feel some tension here. Why? Think about what I just said to you at the start of this, is that your lead shoulder is responsible for helping your arms elevate. When your arm elevates to the top of the swing, your shoulder is going to start to what we call protract. That protraction is a movement that needs to go back into its original position at the completion of transition. And this is what gets a lot of people into trouble in their golf swings. Follow me here for a second. How many of you look at your golf swings when you get up to the top and you lack turn, okay, and then you start moving in transition and your lead arm and shoulder look really tight and bunched into your chest? I bet there's a ton of you watching this video that have that problem. I see it every single day of my instructional life. And the reason why it happens is because you're not allowing your arms to do exactly the opposite of what they did in the first place going back. Your arms elevate. That's it. And they flex. So the opposite of elevating would be de-elevating. So to get this feel and sensation going, what we're going to do is now we're going to drill up to the top of the swing. And we're not going to move our shoulders and we're not going to move our hips. but I'm just gonna let my arm de-elevate. I'm gonna bring it back up. I'm gonna feel my arm moving straight down, kind of like my hand is falling down towards the depth line. Almost like I have a 10-pound weight tied around my upper arm and a 10-pound weight tied around my wrist, and it's just pulling it straight down to the floor. Now, what you're seeing there is my arm is starting to now swing. It's starting to get some momentum in it, which is a good thing. That momentum and inertia that we're starting to create through the hands and the arms, through that midsection of the downswing, we call it the acceleration zone, is the starting point of how you generate speed. But I know there's a lot of keyboard warriors at home that are going, that are telling me that that's the wrong sequence. Of course it is. You wouldn't take your arms in a throwing motion and throw your arms first before you start to shift, rotate your hips, or even use your thorax. Your body is going to be doing a lot of the heavy lifting in here. But you need to be able to train these things independently at first to get the feel for it. So now what we're going to do is we're going to bring the golf club back in. I want you to take this golf club and I want you to flip the thing upside down. You can grab a 7-iron. You can actually do this with every golf club in your bag, including your ball retriever, because I know a lot of you have ball retrievers in your bag. You shouldn't though, because you shouldn't lose golf balls. You know what I'm saying? Okay, good. Now, take the golf club, flip it over, okay? And all I want you to do is take that trail arm and put it across your chest. And I want you to shift and turn your body by pulling that trail shoulder back in behind your head. Lift your arm straight up and down. And now I want you to bring your arm straight down to the floor. Bring it back up. Do it 2 times. Now I want you to do the same thing, and I want you to shift your weight over to your lead side. Okay? Back up to the top, drop that arm, shift your weight. Now make it a little bit more complex by dropping that arm and turning your belt buckle simultaneously. So this arm is going straight down towards the depth line. Your hips are shifting and turning, and now you're going to see where my arm ends up. You can see that as my arm is dropping down into that depth dimension of the swing, my weight shift and my body turn are helping me get the low point in front of the golf ball, and it's helping me move the hands and arms back out in front of my body. Your low point is always going to be determined by your lead shoulder. Your lead shoulder is the primary pivot point in the golf swing. If we were fortunate enough to be able to just play this game lead arm only, then our low point would always be directly underneath the lead shoulder. But unfortunately, we play a sport that we have our troublemaker that's on the golf club, our trail hand. This is our more dominant side of the body for a lot of us. And it sits in a position where it can cause a lot of chaos. It can push the golf club in any different direction. Now, if I take my right hand and right arm and I swing down as my arms begin to extend, well, that low point is actually now just inside the lead shoulder. It's kind of underneath my armpit. So we want a low point that's going to be somewhere between 3 to 5 inches in front of the golf ball. So that shift is helping us establish that low point, and that rotation is helping us move the arms gradually back out in front. It's helping you establish a good hand and arm path inside of it. So this is like a good multi-purpose sort of drill. Okay, so now let's go ahead and drill this out. We'll get the golf club flipped over in the right direction, and then we'll start rocking and rolling. So take your setup, drill to the top of the swing. Okay, isolate, move the arm straight down to the depth line. Add in some shift while that's happening. Add in some shift and turn. And then as you start to get proficient with it, now you can let the lead arm swing through. Now, feeling pretty good about it, right? I got some connection. I know my arm's moving straight down. Feels like I'm gonna stuff it straight in the ground. I want you to put it to the test. Bring the trail hand back to the side of the club, flip this thing up, right side up, and let's drill to the top. Bring that left arm straight down. Now couple that back with some shift. Couple that back with some weight shift and some body turn, and start letting it release. So it's basically teaching yourself this little pump drill that's helping you start to piece it together and create a good fluid swing. You can notice that my club started to bottom out pretty good in front of the ball here, or pretty far in front of the ball. So a simple little drill that's helping you fix your sequence, helping you fix your low point, and get really good connection to the things that are gonna help you compress the golf ball. So back up to the top, hands on top of the depth line, straight down. Now adding some weight shift, adding some weight shift and turn. Once you get proficient with it, then you can start marrying it together. And then you can start hitting some shots. I love drills like this just because I know we get really ball bound and we get really technically driven, and we oftentimes lose sight of how to create movement. Your lead shoulder and your lead arm really play a very important role in your ability to be able to strike the golf ball cleanly every single time, like you just saw me do down there. I need to get the lead shoulder in front of the golf ball. I'm going to do that with weight shift. I need to allow the lead arm to come straight down for many different reasons, but for the most important reason that is that as I'm starting to let my arms shallow out, the club face can actually start to get squared up earlier instead of you having all of this horizontal natured movement that your arms are trying to recover from. You don't want your arms moving in a horizontal fashion. You want your arms moving up and down. It's an easier way for us to get the wrist to work dynamically. And now you've got a system that supports each other from system 1 over to system 2 over to system 3. Hope you guys get out there and play some good golf. We'll see you guys in the next video.